All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. We are tackling the oh-so-common topic of fear,
Yeah,
the thing that can totally paralyze you from going after what you want.
totally.
We're going to try to flip that script today, though, using a fantastic episode from the Wealth Builders podcast called Taming the Fear Beast.
Really good one.
Yeah, really good. It's packed with great advice and strategies.
It is.
So basically today, we're going to break it all down so you can actually use it to build that online business you've been dreaming of.
For sure.
So to get us started, let's face it, just thinking about starting a business online
Yeah.
can be terrifying.
Right. All those what ifs.
Oh, absolutely.
The fear of failing in front of everyone,
Mm.
it can be a lot.
Oh, yeah, it can be super intimidating.
But the good news is this podcast that we are diving into
Yeah.
lays out 4 main types of fear that we see in the online business
It's
world
definitely 4 big ones.
that we can then try to kind of tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think naming them is such a good first step, right? Because when you can name it, you can tame it, or at least start to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's hear it. What are those 4?
Okay, so first up, we've got fear of failure. And I think that's a pretty universal one, right?
Oh, yeah.
The what if it all goes wrong scenario.
It crashes and burns. You lose all your money. Everybody laughs at you.
Exactly. And then there's fear of the unknown, which can be especially intense with online business because it's this constantly evolving landscape.
It can be hard to keep up with.
Right. Like what works today might be totally obsolete tomorrow.
Ugh, I know. And how do you even know where to start with all the options out there?
Exactly. So much to learn, so many platforms.
Yeah, and then of course there's fear of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this one hits a little different when it comes to online stuff because you're putting yourself out there for the whole world to see.
Oh, totally. You're kind of under a microscope all the time.
It's like, what will people think?
Mm-hmm.
Will they like it? Will they make fun of me?
Mm-hmm. It can feel very vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, and last but certainly not least, we've got fear of financial risk.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's just part of the game with any business, but
Especially when you're starting out.
yeah, you're putting your own hard-earned money on the line and the stakes feel very high.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. All of these fears are totally normal.
They are.
I mean, everyone feels them to some
That's
degree.
human nature.
Exactly. The key is not letting them control you.
And that's what's so great about this episode from Wealth Builders podcast is they don't just tell us to get over it.
Right.
They actually give us actionable strategies to deal with these fears head on.
Exactly. And they outline 7 of them.
7. Okay, wow. We've got a lot to unpack then.
We do, but they're all super practical and actually pretty straightforward.
Well, then let's dive right in.
Okay, so the first one is all about getting those fears out of your head and onto paper.
Write them down.
Yep. Identify your fears. Literally write down every single one that's holding you back.
It's funny how just the act of writing it down can make it seem a little less scary.
Right. It's like you're taking away some of its power.
Yeah, and you can start to see them more objectively.
Totally. And once you've got them all laid out, you can move on to step 2, which is challenge your beliefs.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, let's say one of your fears is, I'm not tech savvy enough to build a website.
Which is a really common one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But instead of letting that thought stop you in its tracks, you challenge it by asking yourself, what resources or skills can I acquire to become more comfortable with technology?
So it's about reframing the fear as a learning opportunity.
Exactly. There are so many incredible website builders out there that are super user-friendly.
I know some of them are like drag and drop. You barely need any coding experience.
Right. And there are tons of online courses and communities where you can learn the ropes.
Yeah, I remember when I first started blogging, I was so intimidated by all the tech stuff. But I found this amazing community of bloggers who are so supportive and helpful.
That's so great.
And I learned so much from them. It really boosted my confidence.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it actually perfectly segues into the next strategy, which is build a supportive network.
It really does take a village.
It does. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who can offer advice and encouragement.
People who have been there and done that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can be online or in-person networking events, masterminds, Facebook groups, even just a few close friends or family members who are your cheerleaders.
Yeah, having that support system can make all the difference.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next strategy is all about breaking things down into manageable chunks.
Break down those goals.
Yes, break down your goals and take small steps. When you're facing a huge, overwhelming task, it's easy to get paralyzed by fear.
Oh, yeah. You just freeze up and don't do anything.
Exactly. But if you break it down into smaller, more achievable steps, it feels way less daunting.
And you start to build momentum.
Exactly. So let's say your goal is to launch an online store.
Okay.
Instead of trying to do everything at once, start by choosing your platform. Then design your logo, take product photos, write your product descriptions, set up payment processing.
So one step at a time.
One step at a time, each step is a win, and it keeps you moving forward.
Yeah, it's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Exactly. And sometimes those steps lead to unexpected detours, which brings us to strategy number 5, embrace failure.
Ooh, failure.
Yep. But not in a scary way.
More like a learning opportunity.
Exactly. Think about Colonel Sanders and his 1,000 rejections before finding success with KFC.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a classic example. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process.
It's about getting back up and trying again.
And learning from your mistakes.
And you know what? I'm kind of glad they included this one because I feel like we don't talk about failure enough,
Yeah.
especially in the online business world.
Yeah, it's almost like this taboo subject.
But everyone fails. It's inevitable.
It is, and the sooner you can embrace that, the better.
Okay, so on to the next strategy. This one might seem a little out of left field, but I'm actually really intrigued by it.
Mindfulness and meditation.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hmm.
When I was getting ready to launch my first online course, I was a total wreck.
Oh, I can imagine.
The stress, the anxiety, the self-doubt, it was a lot. But incorporating mindfulness practices into my daily routine really helped.
Interesting. In what way?
Well, it helped me manage my anxiety and stay focused.
Makes sense.
It allowed me to just observe those fear-based thoughts without letting them take over.
Yeah, that's the power of mindfulness. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about learning to be present with it and not letting it control you.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Let's recap.
Yeah.
We've talked about identifying your fears, challenging your beliefs, building a support network, breaking down your goals, embracing failure, and practicing mindfulness.
And now for the fun part.
Yes, the rewards of overcoming fear.
Right. Because we're not doing all of this just to conquer our fear.
We're doing it to create something amazing.
Exactly. Think about the freedom and flexibility that comes with running your own online business.
Yeah, setting your own schedule, working from anywhere, being your own boss.
And of course, the financial rewards, which the podcast talks a lot about.
But it's more than just the money, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's about having the resources to pursue your passions, to travel, to spend time with your loved ones, to create a life that you truly love.
It's about designing a life on your own terms.
Exactly. And that sense of accomplishment you get from building something from scratch, that's priceless.
Okay, so key takeaway here. Fear is normal, but it doesn't have to hold you back.
Nope, not at all. We've got all these strategies to help us move forward.
And remember, even the most successful online businesses started with a single courageous decision.
So true. What will your first brave step be?
That's the question to ask yourself right now. What can you do today to chip away at that fear that's been holding you back?
It could be researching website platforms, brainstorming product ideas, joining a supportive Facebook group.
Whatever it is, take that first step. You got this. Go out there and build something amazing. We believe in you.